Like being in charge out there on the field, running this offense with this up tempo on Saturday? I mean, with you out there and you just seem like a maestro in an orchestra out there conducting the offense.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it, especially when we're succeeding and going out there and getting wins. It's definitely a lot more enjoyable when it goes that way. But I just think it's overall a great team effort. I can't tell everyone what to do in a split second. Everyone knows what they're doing, everyone knows their job, and everyone's doing their job and doing it consistently, which is the best thing. And I think that's why we're putting up a lot of points this year as an offense.
So without getting too inside football, what is sort of the thing about this offense that, in the way that it's kind of changed, however much, what is it about it that's made kind of your job as a quarterback a little bit easier? What are some of the things that kind of have taken a little bit of pressure off you and made it look at times easy? I know it's not, but made it look that way.
I think a lot of our plays look very similar to the defense, and sometimes it's us passing and sometimes it's us running, and I think that keeps them off balance a lot and keeps them guessing. And the fact that we go at such a high tempo, adds a little bit more stress to them, a little bit more pressure. And for us, we do it every day in practice, so it's not anything crazy for us. We just get up on the ball and we run the next play. But for them, even with a scout team, I think the team closest to being able to possibly replicate a fast tempo offense is Oregon, and we've already played them. And even their defense struggled against us. And so I just think the tempo and plays looking the same to the defense, but it being able to go either one way or the other just to keep them guessing.
To follow up on that, you mentioned the tempo, and what is the what are the biggest couple of keys that allow you guys, because you said, everybody probably wants to go that fast. You guys at times have wanted to. What are the biggest keys that allow you to be able to do that?
I think obviously conditioning is one thing, but I think the biggest thing is knowing your job on each play, so you can just go from play to play and not second guess yourself. Because once you know what you're doing, you don't second guess, you don't think about it, you just go out and you do it. And it doesn't matter what look they give you, whether it's man with a high safety or it's just straight zone across the board. You know what you're going to do, and your teammates know what you're doing, and it just makes it a lot easier, and you can go a lot faster as an offense.
Sefo Mike called you the toughest quarterback he's ever coached and said the team is finally caught up to your mental and physical toughness. With Stanford on the horizon this week, they're a team that seems to challenge teams' toughness both mentally and physically. When you look in the eyes of your teammates and you look at this CU team, is this team equipped to match Stanford toughness for toughness?
I think so. We'll go out there and we'll test their toughness as well. I don't think it's like in past years where we can't rely on our toughness or our guys up front. We've got a great front on offense. We've got a great front on defense. We feel like we match up very well against these guys, and it just comes down to each play. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in any direction. I think it's going to be a very close game because it's two very good teams going against each other, and that's when it comes down to a couple plays here or there that make the difference in a game. And so we'll be ready to test their toughness, and I'm sure they'll test ours as well.
How are you better this season? You said you spent some time, in the offseason doing some specialized work, but it seems like not just, maturity on the field, but your skills have come along. Do you feel that as well?
I definitely think so, and I definitely think the biggest thing for me is confidence. The confidence that my parents have put into me, coaches, the training has helped a lot in terms of confidence as well, and just confidence in my ability to be able to go out there and make any throw, make any play. I think that the guys around me as well have helped a lot. I can't go out there, like I always say, and then throw and catch and run. They do a lot as well. And so I think it's just overall just confidence in myself and confidence in my teammates, and my teammates just making plays, when I don't always get the ball in the perfect spot for them.
Sefo, this is the first time a lot of you guys, at least here at Colorado, well, it is the first time you guys have been in the thick of a conference race for a division championship and a berth in the Pac-12 championship. So with each win, I guess the pressure mounts a little more and more, but as you're winning, obviously you guys are having a good time. What's the balance there between enjoying the wins and dealing with the pressure of being in a conference race, something you guys haven't really experienced before?
I don't think with this team there is really a balance. I think that for the most part, we enjoy the win, the day that it happens, and a little bit on Sunday because that's kind of our off day, and a lot of guys just kind of relax and take their mind off football. And then when it hits Monday, you review the film, you see what you did wrong, and then you just move on to the next game. Especially in college football, there's so many quick games and quick successions that there's not much time for you to dwell on previous success. And I think that the really good teams don't dwell on past success. They focus on the upcoming game at hand, and especially in the Pac-12 when you play so many great teams in a row, you always have to be ready for your next opponent. And we've done a really good job of that this year. I think that for the most part, after losing games and being able to bounce back and come back strong against other teams is really key for us and kind of really shows the maturity of the team.
You've seen film from last week against Arizona State. You've seen film on Stanford. Complete this sentence. CU will beat Stanford on the road if
we're consistent, especially on offense. I think that it's easy to go out there and, if I remember correctly, I think last year we had one quick touchdown early on in the game, and then after that it was not very good. So I think being able to be consistent, and because especially in the ASU game, kind of towards the middle, towards the end, we were going a lot of 3-and-outs, or we were going down the field and not really scoring or putting points on the board. And that puts a lot of strain on the defense. The defense really stepped up last game for us. But to be able to be consistent and continuously put points on the board and not just field goals, to go out there and score points, I think is the biggest thing for the offense and for this team too, just to be consistent across the board and know your assignments and do your job.
So you've gone against your secondary in practice for a number of years now. How much better are those guys technically and just as far as their ability to go out and cover receivers one-on-one?
They're definitely a lot better. Sometimes, most of the time this year, I've thought that they're better than some of the DBs that we've played, on Saturdays. And that's always kind of how you want it. You want practice to be harder than the games so that the games just feel a lot easier. And so I've seen those guys grow a lot. I've gone against them for a number of years now. I've gone against Cheeto for 4 years now, Kello 3 years, Fo only 2 years, but I've seen him grow a lot since he's been here. And so just to see those guys kind of grow up from freshmen and now seniors and to how much better they are, it's just a testament to how much we've grown as a team overall and how much we've grown in terms of depth as a team, because one guy goes down, the next guy can just step up and play, and we don't lose a beat.
Sefo, we all know that Coach Mack said this a million times, but quarterbacks get too much of the credit and too much of the blame. And over the years, you've had your share of criticism from people, whomever, whether it's fair or unwarranted or not. On the field after the game, when you did that Pac-12 interview and all the students were behind you and they were chanting your name as the guy was asking you the question, you had a huge smile on your face. Just talk about that moment, what it meant to you.
It meant a lot. It's just a testament to how hard the team's been working. It's been a long road from freshman year when nobody would really be in the stands. I think that homecoming freshman year at the Buff Parade, there was about 100 people, and then there was a lot more people this year. It's just a different turn of events, and to be able to help kind of change the program and potentially continue to lead it upwards in the win column and success is just the hard work's paying off now. And it's not just me. I'm just, one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot more guys on this team that have, put in a lot of work. And so just to see us finally having some success, on the field, it means a lot to us as a team.
Sefo, is it nice to see that offensive line in front of you that's the same offensive line week to week rather than, a deck of cards that seem to be changed every week last year?
Definitely. To be able to kind of have some consistency up front and not as many injuries as previous years definitely helps. You definitely get a rhythm with those guys, and you can make calls a little bit quicker. Guys kind of know what they're doing. And if I have to switch something at the line, then I can do it, a split second faster, and they'll quickly make their checks as well. And so it definitely helps. It definitely helps the running backs as well, giving them a little more confidence on, who's up front blocking for them. And as you can see, they were pretty good last week for, our running back Phil. And so, just hats off to them. They've played really well this year. They've given me and Montez time to stand back there and throw. They've given the running backs a lot of lanes to run through.
Thank you, Sefo.
Thanks, guys.